Well, Ibrahim, thank you for being on my show today. I'm really excited about our conversation because you're a fellow entrepreneur.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Can you tell us a little bit about your brand, MrUsta, what it does, and your journey so far?
MrUsta is an online marketplace to find service providers. We find different service providers like movers, painters, plumbers, mechanics to get your services done. We started in 2014 and it's been 5 years, and we are educating the market. We are getting good quality service to people in Dubai.
So can you tell me a little bit about your journey? How did you start, and then how did you raise money and scale?
Actually, I moved to UAE in 2008, and I was working for a big corporate international one, Nokia, and I was having my regular, Dubai job, enjoying life. And as Nokia started to decline to work, what happened is I always had this entrepreneurship in my mind, and what can I do? And then I had a couple of problems at home, and it wasn't really easy to find a service provider for that problems. My AC broke down in summer, and I had to wait 2 days to get it fixed, and I had to stay at my friend's house because you cannot live without an AC here in UAE. And as I was dealing with applications in Nokia, I decided why I don't create a marketplace like this to get the service providers on board and make it easier for people to find service providers. So the journey started like that. And in 2014, with my co-founders, we started the application and the website. We did a lot of tests and then changed a lot of things on the application. And then in 2015, we got our first angel investment. A VC believed in our concept because there are so many successful similar concepts all over the world, and our brand and our concept was also very strong. Then after we get the investment, we enhanced our brand. Then we started to grow. We acquired many customers online and offline channels. We started partnerships.
So at what stage were you as a company? Were you just an interface, or you had customers, you had revenue? Were you profitable at that point?
When we started, we put our own money as co-founders, and we started to test the platform because we checked global concepts, but UAE has its unique way of working. So we had to test and understand what really customer wants, and we need to create the best user journey for them. So for 1 year, we worked only on a web page, and our intention was getting the investment and create our native applications on iOS and Android. After we learned a lot, it was for free for 1 year on the web page. After we learned a lot about this user journey, we decided what would be the best user journey for the customers. Then with the investment, we recreated our brand. We changed the brand a little, and then we created our applications with the best user journey or experience we can have.
When it comes to user experience, how do you think the UAE differs from other markets?
To be honest, when I first started, I was thinking it's a technology startup, everything will be on tech. I wouldn't do anything other than tech. But UAE really needs a human touch. So people really want to see someone behind this application and someone supporting them human. So I start to recruit a call center which help people when they have problems, because we are working in a very problematic place, which is services. Every service can go good or go bad, but people are okay with going bad, but they want someone to fix it, not a technology to fix it. On top of that, in the UAE, people want everything go very straightforward, because life is very comfortable here. They don't have a lot of problems or handicaps in the life. So they want a very smooth user experience. They don't want to have problems. They don't want to have second thoughts. They want everything clear and straightforward. And if you have good quality at the end of good service, people...
But, in your line of business, I suppose you must be having quite a few dilemmas, because with services, you can get the same job done for, 500 dirhams to 5,000 dirhams, and you have so many different providers. Now, you being online, obviously you want to be competitive and you want to be attractive for your users, yes. But at the same time you want it to be of a certain quality so that you can keep getting users coming back. So how do you protect yourself as MrUsta, and what exactly is your process for that?
That was one of our biggest challenge because as you said, the market is very fragmented. Some people can come and do it like very cheap, the other one can do it very expensive. So we need to set a market price. That's what we successfully did is we take the higher ones to mid and the middle ones with the bad quality to a good quality to the mid. We are never the most affordable service in the market.
So you got vendors to actually improve their services,
yes.
And charge more?
Yes, because some vendors, what they were doing, it very quick ways to fix it, and it wasn't good quality. After 1 month, we have to fix it again. After 3 days, we have to fix it again. We changed this. We set standards on the quality, and we set standards on the pricing as well. We are doing workshop with the vendors and bringing them. We understand their cost, how much it costs to make the service better quality. After that, we again talk to them in the workshop and we decide the price. But we never said them you will not make money. So there should be a market average for a good quality service.
But still, I'm sure that things all the time would be going horribly wrong given the complexity and fragmentation of the market. So, how do you protect yourself as MrUsta, and, how do you protect your reputation?
We started as an open marketplace. Anyone could join on our marketplace. But after this trial, 1 year, we understand that we cannot be open marketplace. We had to be a closed marketplace, which means we don't have anyone just subscribing on our platform. We are selecting them. So we are vetting them, we are checking their previous jobs, we are talking with their previous customers, and we bring them on board. And we don't bring everyone on board. After they become on board, we have a tier system as well. They become tier 2. And if they prove their quality, they can become tier 1 and get more jobs. And continuously with the ratings coming from customers also, we are checking their quality level. If they have bad ratings, we are penalizing them. If they're getting more bad ratings, and we are saying them, thank you, we don't want you anymore in our platform because quality is the most important thing for us. And we have leverage on the service providers as well. If they do a bad job, we ask them to go and fix it and make the customer happy. That's why MrUsta always gives the quality service to the service providers.
So can you tell us a little bit about, customer acquisition? Yes. How did you get people to use it, and did a lot of your fundraise? I believe your pre-Series A was a $2.75 million investment. How did you allocate resources to actually get customers using, and then how do you make customers sticky so they keep using you?
Most probably you know that in the earlier times the online advertisement was not very expensive. It was there wasn't any much more competition there, so it wasn't very expensive to acquire customers from online channels like Facebook, Google advertisement, Instagram. We did a lot of brand campaigns, brand awareness campaigns, and customer acquisition campaigns through online channels when we first started. It worked really well. People really started to know about our brand and what we are offering them. So we give them clear messages and we tell them what we are really doing. We also combine these campaigns with offline campaigns like radio. We joined with community events. We had booths there. All first 2 years was explaining people what we are doing and why they should use MrUsta instead of just calling someone. So after explaining that, it became really expensive to invest on online marketing. So we started to get our partners on board, which is like we are working with Meraz, we are working with Tubizel, we are working with Karim to give services to their customers, which is helping us to convert the customers easily. And after we convert them, what we do is we have loyalty system to keep them on the platform. So when they keep booking through MrUsta, they gain points, and with that points, they can get some free services. At the same time, when they know the quality is 100% guaranteed with MrUsta, they keep coming back. So our retention and frequency rates are really high.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the retention and frequency? I mean, how sticky are customers really, and how loyal are customers really in our market? And do you still see a huge chunk of one-time usage?
Some of the categories we see them because, like moving and painting, you don't need them every day. You need them every year. You need them every 2 years, 3 years, maybe. So some people really looking for some offers in the market. If they see a better offer, they come. But if the offers are not that big difference, they still choose the quality. So when we put our quality standards there, people are come back to us. But at the same time, they are looking around too. But in the categories that they regularly book, like laundry, like cleaning, when they see the ease of usage, if it's even a better offer in the other part, they don't want to leave you quickly. And we always try to also acquire the customers. They are not attracted to discounts. They are not attracted to offers very much. We try to target the customers who wants convenience and who wants a better quality service. That's why we believe our retention campaigns worked well. And we also reward our customers who are regularly using our platforms with our loyalty system.
So that's interesting that you're actually targeting customers that aren't price conscious and actually looking for a more convenient proposition, because it seems like most of the marketing that we see online today is about 1 dirham for a year's worth of cleaning type of thing, and that's your approach to that is interesting. But circling back to acquiring that type of customer, I feel for you, and I completely agree, because when we were on Google a couple of years ago, now I kind of regret, I think that I wish I could have put more money into that, because it was so much cheaper, and now it's almost 4 times, 5 times more expensive. In this new environment, I know you said you're getting partners on board, but what's the right mechanism to really scale going forward? Is it just through partners, or is there a different strategy that you have in mind?
With the partners, what we have seen is our cost of acquisition dropped 8 times, so which is a very significant amount. So our unit economics looks much better right now. What partner brings us on board is partners, customers already trust that partner. And if that partner tells, I'm working with MrUsta right now, and you can trust him too, it's easy to acquire that customers and convert that customers. You are absolutely right. The market right now is very sensitive, very price sensitive, and everyone is looking for 1 dirhams, 2 dirhams, and more. There are very good offers that they can take. But again, if they get very cheap offers, the quality of service they are getting is very low. So we had some customers, they went for those offers, and they even called us and complained us that they get the service from some other service providers or other platforms, and at the end they get really bad service, so they came back to our platform. So at the end there is a level there where you can afford the quality service and the price you need to pay for it. And when people see that this is the price for a quality service, they accept that and they continue. They do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but they always come back to the better service. With the partners, what is it is they already acquired the customers. They have a very big customer database. We also did a campaign, offline campaign with Carrefour. We had a stand in Carrefour. It was very successful, because when they see that you are associated with a good brand, and when you explain them directly to their faces what you are doing, and the way they see your prices and your commitments to them, the cost of acquisition becomes much lower than what you are doing online, because online you have only 1 banner and you are limited that space to explain yourself.
Isn't it fascinating that as the market evolves, offline starts becoming a lot more attractive again, and online becomes a bit more of a challenge because everyone's focusing on online?
I think there should be a mix for every business. Online is the problem right now because there is a lot of noise there. There is a lot of competition, not the direct competition, also other competition. On your right now, maybe if you search something or if you go to social media, you see a lot of different offers coming to you. Even after some time, it's like white noise. You don't even see those advertisements anymore. You are like becoming an ad blocker, and you are blocking most of the ads on your timeline, because in social media you want to see your friends what they are doing, and you don't even see those ads. But sometimes you accidentally click. Sometimes in the videos, we just want to watch the video. So of course there is a level if you can target, and if you do a good campaign, and if you combine it with a nice offline campaign, it would be online will be always there. But I believe offline will be always there. So a good combination would always work.
So, looking ahead a little bit, 3 years, 5 years, how do you think MrUsta is going to evolve, and what kind of growth rate do you expect, and what kind of, are you looking to scale geographically, or are you just UAE?
In UAE is a very good market to prove your concept and to make your concept even better and better, because the people are very tech savvy here, and they also give very good feedback to you. And as we talked before, they have a comfort level. If you make them happy, it's easier to make other people happy in the region too. What we want to also grow in the regional, become a regional brand. But of course, every country has their own dynamics, on customer segmentation. So we are learning them right now, what we can do other countries, and we are doing trials with our partners, and we are understanding the market. Our target is to be a regional brand and bring the same quality of service with the affordable pricing to other countries in the region. I believe technologically we enhanced our model really well. It will be very easy. We need to acquire the best service providers there. We need to know them, and we need to understand how they work there, their unit economics as well. Then we will expand.
Do you think you will also see a greater scope of services being offered on MrUsta going forward? I know, of course, we're soon going to see insurance on MrUsta,
Yes.
and we're going to be partners on that. Do you see a greater scope of services being offered, and how far can you go with this marketplace approach?
Yes, I believe definitely. As you mentioned, we are getting insurance also on our platform. We are getting many different language classes like car services as well, because people started to look for services more online. So before, what they were doing offline, finding people offline or through the phone, it's not very easy for them to do right now. In the online, the scope of service is clear, what they are getting is clear, and pricing is clear. So more services, we see other marketplaces like they are doing for beauty, we are not into that. So many services are becoming online. But for MrUsta, we will be focusing on home services, like insurance you need for your home, for your car, and you need for your office as well. We are doing office services too. Anything related to home services, we will be there.
But do you see your model changing or evolving in any way going forward? Do you see yourself being a closed marketplace, or do you see yourself evolving like you are as an Alibaba model, or do you see yourself becoming a little bit of an Amazon where you take more control over the things that you're delivering?
Yeah, I think we are going more controlling over what we are delivering, because as we started also in the job model, we were getting offers for customer from different service providers, and customers were choosing which service provider to support them. But by the time we understand that, when we keep the level of service providers and quality same, customers started don't mind who is giving them services, because if it's service provider A or B, they will get the same service. So what we have done is, we are now going away from getting offers for customers to fixed pricing. So we create a scope of work for example, moving. You tell us how many bedroom of house you are moving, is it an apartment or villa, from which city to which city. We give you a fixed price, and after a fixed price, when you book the service, you can pay online directly that one, and we assign a service providers from our pool to you, because you know exactly the service you are going to get and the quality you are going to get. At the end, you don't have a personal relationship before any service provider, so if it's A or B, you don't mind. Someone will do the same service, come and fix it. So right now, it was beginning of 2018, 5% of our jobs were coming like this, instant booking, we call it, fixed price, and we assign the service providers. Now it went up to 70%. So people right now wants ease of mind, because when you start to get offer, it takes 3 hours, 4 hours negotiating price. They don't want to do that.
So the customers don't mind if whoever the service provider is, they're more about, it having the MrUsta seal of approval on it.
Yes. And they want to know the price, and they want to save time too, because if you go into offer base, you need to spend 3 hours, 4 hours, negotiate and understand the level of service, scope of service. Of course, there are some categories like landscaping, we cannot give an upfront price. It will be always offer based and survey based, and they are on the platform. But we started with 3 categories. Now we have 25 categories that we can give fixed price and a specific scope of work. And we have levels also in this. We have gold packages, bronze packages, silver packages. So you can choose the scope of work from these packages, and you have the price and you just book it.
For these 25 odd categories that you can quote prices online,
Yes.
all of these go through as unassisted sales? Or do you still have a lot of customers calling and asking questions?
We make it very clear the scope of the package they are buying. If moving, for example, we make it clear that we bubble wrap, you don't touch anything, we hang curtains, we hang your TV, everything is mentioned in the scope. Of course, if they have an additional service they need, it's not mentioned there, they are calling us and we are explaining that.
So most customers are happy to just, say I'm moving, this is what I'm doing, and then it gives them a price and they click and purchase. So the majority of your customers don't actually give you a ring and ask you further questions?
No, very minority, because right now it's very clear for them. They just buy the service. They can even pay with Apple Pay, an online credit card. And after that, service provider is assigned to them. And when the job date comes, service provider go and do the job. Because we really create that scope clearly for them. And even we are explaining them for the services that they didn't think of. So, for example, in painting, moving, we told them you will need this service, you will need this feature too, you will need this package too. And when they see it, yes, I need this, and they choose it. Of course, budget is important here. That's why we created these packages for different budgets.
This is amazing, because in insurance, we have a notorious situation with regards to unassisted sales. Regardless of who you are, the majority of the sales, even if you're able to quote online and completely transact online, the majority of sales, and I'm talking 90+%, happen through some kind of assistance, and some kind of calling. Why do you think insurance isn't being sold completely online in the UAE?
To be honest, I think I'm running in the 10%, because when I started using Insurance Market, the quotations you were giving me was very clear. For my car, for example, does it have GCC coverage? Does it have agency repair? Does it have what is the price of the car? It was very clear on the quotations that I don't need to ask any question, because there are 4 or 5 very critical things I need to know. And if it's really mentioned in the quotation very clearly, and I can see that in 3 different quotations you send me from 3 different companies, all questions are answered.
So it just goes back to focusing on user experience.
Yes.
And making sure that you remove as
Yes.
much friction as possible.
And also in our case, we explain the users what makes the difference of this price and what is the critical you need to know about this service. We don't explain all of them. What makes you choose this service or this service provider or this service provider? What is the difference there? If it's clear for them and they see a value for that price change or value to choose that service provider, they can easily go. If it's not clear, if it's in a gray area, why I should choose this, not this, because there is 500 dirhams difference, and I'm not sure why there is this 500 dirhams difference. If it's clear that why there is a difference, they will go there. But if it's not clear, of course, they will call you and ask you, why is this like this?
Well, clearly you're doing a great job. What are the challenges you're facing today?
The biggest challenge is education, and changing the habits of people, because people are really used to just call someone, the security guy on the building, and ask a recommendation from him. And they don't know the problems they are going to face when they do that. And they do experience, know that, and it becomes a problem. And when they frustrated, they search online and then find us, and they also have this bad thoughts about all the service providers, and they challenge us. This is a problem for us. And also accessing the markets, because we are a startup, we don't have very high marketing budgets too. That's why we are going to partners. The biggest challenge is explaining ourselves to the customers. When they first come and have the service, they become just to try it sometimes, just to let me see if they give me a good price, or let me see if they give me a good service. After they try it once, they come back, they are happy, and they become an online user. But transferring these offline users to online is our biggest challenge and the most expensive challenge.
For our entrepreneurs that are watching, what advice would you want to give them?
I think most important advice I learned by experience is, no one told me that, to really understand every unit economic of your business and to convert this in a profit too, because at the end you are creating a company for profit. And if you don't know the unit economics and the whole details of your product or service you are selling, you cannot create a profitable business. So that's why they have to research a lot. They have to talk every single stakeholder in the market to understand what domain they are getting in. And if they are already in that domain, they really need to find the very interesting points that they can convert to profit.
It's interesting that you talk about profit as opposed to scaling, raising more money and exiting. So is your plan to run this business for a long time, or do you have an exit strategy in mind?
In the short term, I don't have an exit strategy because I really enjoy doing this, and we are growing, and we are close to being a profitable company. But in the future, long term, yes, definitely we have plans for exit. We have some really new big markets interested, corporate in the market interested in us, because they understand everything is going digital right now, everything is going online, and they are testing with us right now. As I said, some big development companies and real estate companies, they understand that this is a good concept. In the future, of course, we want to work with them if they want to help us on expanding. We have some couple of new also partnership coming on board like this, and we want to go ahead with them.
Ibrahim, that was great. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best, and all the best to MrUsta.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the chat. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best too.
Thank you.